and respond back. Just be an open book.
I saw a whole amazing level in the play that really pulled me in. And then when I sat down and met with Hal, it was just like two minds that had never met before, and we went, yes, yes, we agree, yes, we understand, yes, I get it, yes, oh my gosh, you got that, and you're in the right place when that happened. I just had an instant heart connection and understanding, and that seemed to flow all the way through the shoot. He was under enormous pressure and had a lot of people grabbing at him energetically a lot of different ways, and never lost it, and never lost his focus, and never lost his relationship, his intimate relationship with the characters and what we were doing and how we could get there. And for an actor, for this actor anyway, I need, the directors and producers set what's going on the set. And for an actor to be able to walk into an environment and know that he's trusted and know that he trusts who's guiding the overall show, it's so, so important for the freedom of creativity for me. And I just found working with Hal a really favorite experience of mine.
This was so much a piece of who he was that he put into this project. He cared about every single nuance, the amount that we talked about the different parts of Nathan's past and how each and every part influenced his present day. He had passion, he had enthusiasm, he had optimism. On days that we weren't necessarily getting all the shots because of weather or other unforeseen situations popping up, he would never let his passion waver.
This was the first time we worked together as director and actor. And there was one kind of teeter-totter moment when it could have gone bad if I had reacting to a comment that Hal made. And if I had teetered the wrong way and gotten defensive about it, it would have probably shallowed out the experience for me. Without knowing it, I was repeating a facial gesture. And even though it was just rehearsal, if it had continued into shooting, I wouldn't have been acting the character. I would have been indicating an emotion. That is, portraying an emotion rather than being in the emotion. And Hal pointed that out to me. And, actors are sensitive people sometimes, and there's ways to react to things like that. And you can get defensive, or you can just take a deep breath, relax, and say thank you, which is the appropriate response. And I was able to do that, and partially because Hal was inevitably respectful, generous, and affectionate towards all the performers in the show. His determination to maintain affection and civility throughout the shoot in a very pressured situation really paid off.
It's so important. I cannot stress how important that is for an actor to feel respected and guided. I mean, there are people out there that think they're going to get more from you if they demean you, which is so not the sensibility of an actor.
We had two stages of casting. One first down here in Los Angeles with Victoria Burrows and Scott Boland, Burrows Boland Casting, who are some of my favorite people on earth. I've worked in casting for many, many, many years now. Started out theatrical, ended up in commercials. I have so much respect for Victoria Burrows and Scott Boland. The people they brought in, the way they see the casting, the enthusiasm. I hope I can work the rest of my life and have them cast my films. The same is said for Jim Heber, who was the casting director up in Canada. So involved, so enthusiastic. I did not know what to expect in Canada. I did not know what the level of the local Winnipeg talent would be. They were remarkable. They were so let's put it this way. The level of talent of the actors in Canada, in Winnipeg, Canada, made it really difficult to choose who I wanted because I felt like I had so many good choices for any particular role. Same thing goes for the crew in Winnipeg. The crew in Winnipeg, Canada that we worked with, I've worked on a lot of film sets. This was the most committed, friendly, hardworking crew I'd ever been with. And the level of commitment they had, the level of commitment that it felt like they had to me, to the story, to the actors, to Bill Butler, it really felt like everyone was pushing for some personal reason to make this the best film possible. My experience was I felt completely supported by these people who have now raised the bar for my next film and what I want out of a crew.
One of the greatest parts of the experience was working with the Canadian actors. Really terrific people. Brad Swatsky, who played my deputy, is just a really remarkable guy, a wonderful actor, and tremendously sensitive, and Johnny on the spot. Just really, it was really a joy to work with him, and so too with all of the Canadian colleagues who we work with.
Bill Butler, working with a living legend. This is the man that scarred me so badly I still refuse to go in the ocean. DP of Jaws. He shot the Conversation with Hackman back in the 70s. He did work on Deliverance. He did work on Godfather. He did work on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The man is film history.
But Bill Butler's a great cinematographer, and the film has that, what I like is that kind of 70s canvas, I guess, the color palette. And it looks, clearly immediately you can tell it just looks different than a movie you would, if you were just picking up The Plague off the video shelf. You could immediately tell it just does not look like the $1.98 straight-to-video horror movie that they kept kind of put together. The shots are all beautifully composed. There's great stylistic choices. It's a great-looking movie, and much better looking than any of the DVD, straight-to-DVD horror films you're going to see on the shelves.
What I noticed in terms of cinematography, which is what I studied most thoroughly in film school, was that it was the lighting effects and the framing and everything, the way he thought it through, was all very unobtrusive. It really served the story in such a naturalistic way that I was never conscious of it, which was wonderful. In certain kind of films you like to be conscious of a beautiful shot because you're thinking, oh, this is a beautiful character presented in a beautiful way. Well, in this movie, there was nothing to remind me that this is a movie and that somebody framed this shot and lit it in a certain way. Because if they had, I would have stepped out of the thing and not been frightened. And I was frightened. I was really concerned, to get through those little tunnels and all those things that were happening. It was just really, there was no self-conscious or arty kind of work done that made me step back and realize, this is a movie, yeah, right.
Having been a big fan of 70s films, having grown up with